Hey everybody, welcome back to Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. This is part 2 as I document my return to DC training. Let's get to it. Today is my first of 3 upper body workouts. I really like the upper body workouts, actually more than the lower body workouts, so I'm really excited for today's video. I'm starting to feel a lot better and I'm getting closer to 100%, so thank you to everybody who messaged me on Instagram and on YouTube just to wish me well as I recover from the bug that's going around. I won't show this in every video, but for these upper body workouts, I start off on the ski erg for about 500 meters, then I go to the rower for about 500 meters, and then I move on to the bands down here. I'm getting ready to do my rest pause exercise for chest, and today it's going to be the dumbbell flat press. I have my intra-workout protein drink with me, which is Syntha 6, and my first meal of the day. And then I also have my logbook. And I'm starting with the 40s, and I'll do about 12 repetitions here. I have the dumbbells on my handy dandy Titan Fitness dumbbell stand, so I don't have to pull them off of the ground. Set 2 will be the 55s, 8 times. After my 2 warm-up sets, it's time for my rest pause set for chest. So I'm going to do as many as I can, take 15 deep breaths, do as many as I can again, take 15 deep breaths, and then do as many as I can a third time. And that will be it for chest. But this is going to be all the way to failure. And this is where I open myself up for some scrutiny, because at one point in time, the 70s were my warm-ups. Now it's going to be my rest pause max weight set. But I am going to be doing higher reps. And again, at one point in time, I was a lot stronger than this, but age is catching up with me. And again, I am just recovering from being sick. So we'll see how many reps we can get with the 70s. Everything is very controlled. I'm controlling the negative on the way down. Today is my A, chest, shoulders, triceps, back width, and back thickness workout. I'll have a B and a C, which I will show in future videos. I'll try to keep these same exercises for the next 12 weeks. Part 1 in this series was my A, biceps, forearms, calves, hamstrings, and quadriceps workout. So check that video out if you haven't seen it. I go into a lot more detail with the DC training principles than I do in this video. So now I'll take 15 deep breaths and then get ready for set number 2. Set 2, I'll probably get about half of what I got for that first set, so probably 7. Today is a Wednesday, and I won't hit these muscle groups again until next week on a Monday. The biggest reason I took a break from DC training is because if you do this 2-way split, it's only 3 times a week, and I like to train 5, 6, maybe even 7 times a week. But when you use this high intensity, you'll just burn out way too fast if you try to train that frequently. I'm happy with 8, 15 deep breaths, and then my final rest pause set. Rest pause set number 3, probably 4 to 5. So I am definitely happy with that. That's a total of 26 repetitions which is in the rep range that I want to be in for an older guy who shoots for about 20 to 25 total reps in a rest pause set. Now, when I do this exercise again, I don't want to jump up to the 75s because I think that's going to be too much. So instead, I'll use these Rogue add-on change plates. Each of these are 1 pound. So the dumbbells will then be 72 apiece, and that's a good middle ground instead of jumping up all the way to the 75s. And there's another company, a smaller company, that makes change plates like this. It's called Micro Gains, and while I don't have them, they seem like a good alternative to the Rogues. Now it's time for my extreme stretch for chest, and this is very difficult. I'm just gonna use the 40-pound dumbbells for the extreme stretch, but I'm gonna try to hold this for 60 to 90 seconds. And this is all there is to it. I keep my elbows close to my body and at an angle so I don't hurt my shoulders. In other words, I'm not doing the extreme stretch like this, but more like this. I'm going to breathe the entire time. I'm going to log this in the logbook. So if I get maybe like 70 seconds today, I'll jump up to the 45s. Now it's time for my shoulder set, and if I didn't have something weird going on in my upper back, I would do an overhead press, but because of my issue, I have to do an incline press for shoulders. So I just have to make the best of my situation, and this incline press seems to get the job done pretty well. So this will also be a rest pause set, and I'll do 2 warm-ups. 2 45s will be my first warm-up set. I'll add 2 25s for my second warm-up set. And then I'll move on to my rest pause work set. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm ready for my rest pause set for shoulders. I'm on the lever gym. I have the arms working independently of one another. I have 2 45s on each side and a 2.5. There are some people who make fun of the 2.5s, but they are some of the most valuable tools in my training arsenal. So again, I'm shooting for 12 on this first rest pause set, because I fall into that category of 35 and older. And I'll probably go stop and go on these 2, 3, just because it's easier on my shoulder. In part 1 of this video series, I mentioned that I would share some things that I like to do with my diet. And lately I've been on a kick with this chicken that you can get in most grocery store delis. It's about $6. It's 330 calories and 68 grams of protein, and I'll have one at every meal. 2 other rather inexpensive staples in my diet are oats and egg whites, which both come from Aldi. I'll have the oats every morning in my protein shake, and I'll have the egg whites if I don't have chicken for the day. So 12, that was a grinder. I just finished my 15 deep breaths. Now it's time for rest pause set 2. I'll probably get about half of what I got on my first rest pause set. 15 deep breaths, and then I'll get ready for my final rest pause set. Here's my final rest pause set for shoulders. And one of the things about DC, and one of the reasons you have to push yourself so hard, is because technically I'm only doing 3 sets for shoulders, and then that's it for about the next 5 days. So I have to push it extremely hard since my volume is so low. Here's what my extreme stretch looks like for shoulders. I'm on the PowerTech Streamline Functional Trainer. I have 40 pounds on the stack. Now I'll take this handle and I'll walk out and I'll hold this stretch for 60 to 90 seconds. And then of course, I'll do my other arm when I'm done with my right. Now I'm moving on to my rest pause set for triceps. I'm on the Titan Fitness seated dip machine, starting with 2 45s, 12 times. And the nice thing about this exercise is it hits the shoulders and the chest indirectly. Well, actually kind of directly too. So in addition to the exercise I did for chest, the exercise I did for shoulders, this exercise will complement those two. And I really like this machine. I feel it actually more in my chest than my triceps, but of course my triceps are getting worked as they push down. Moving on to set 2 for triceps, I have 4 45s on here, and I'll shoot for 8 repetitions. Now it's time for my rest pause set for triceps. I have 2 45s and a 35 on each side. I did a review for this machine a few months ago, and while there are some minor QC issues which I cover in my review, overall it is a great machine and it does a great job of stimulating the muscles. It's also one of the least expensive machines that Titan sells. I don't like stopping on number 13, but I have no choice. 15 deep breaths, rest pause set number 2. Eight. Now I'll take 15 deep breaths and get ready for that final rest pause set. Here's my extreme stretch for triceps. Recently, Dante showed another good way to stretch your triceps out on his Instagram account. I'm just going to use this rope. I have 90 pounds on the lever gym, and I just prefer this extreme stretch over some of the others because this one doesn't cause me any joint pain, but it causes me a whole lot of muscular pain in a good way. So I will hold this for 60 to 90 seconds. If I get to the point where I am just getting to 90 seconds with 90 pounds easily, then I'll jump up with a 2.5, maybe even a 5 on each side of the weight horns. I'm now at kind of the halfway point in this workout. I've done all of my push exercises, chest, shoulders, and triceps. Now I'm moving on to my back width and my back thickness exercises. So I've finished my intra-workout protein drink. Now I've switched over to HydroCharge, which is an electrolyte supplement. It has a little bit of caffeine in it and a little bit of citrulline in it. And I'm using these knockoff mag grips. I'm using the longest one in the set. And I have 90 pounds on the weight horns for my warm-up. And believe it or not, today is a Wednesday. The last video that I recorded was on a Monday, and my biceps are still very, very sore from that workout, doing that incline curl. I contemplated skipping today because my biceps are so sore. So 1, that speaks volumes about DC training. 2, it shows that I push myself really hard. And 3, it shows that incline curl is an extremely valuable exercise because anytime a muscle is stretched during its range of motion for a strength training movement, I think it's extremely beneficial for muscle growth. Warm up set number 2, 2 45s and 2 35s. I'll do this about 8 times. This grip really pulls on my lats in a good way. I can feel it stretching them throughout this range of movement. So I know this is a very effective exercise for me. Now it's time for my rest pause set for back width. I have 2 45s, 2 35s, and 2 25s on the weight horns. I'm shooting for at least 12 repetitions on this first rest pause set. If you've watched this channel for any period of time, you probably know that the lever gym is my most used, and next to the Rhino, my most favorite piece of equipment. I have 4 videos
my Lever Gym hack videos showing how versatile this piece of equipment is. So if you've ever thought about buying the Lever Gym, check out my videos on it.
Ooh. 15 deep breaths. Now it's time for my second set in this rest pause set.
The knockoff mag grip that I'm using here comes in a set of 5, and it's one of the best buys you will find. It's 5 grips for $129 from Walmart, and those 5 grips made my list of my favorite pieces of home gym equipment between $100 and $200.
Whew. I'm fading a little bit. 15 deep breaths, then I'll get ready for my final set. And here we go with the final rest pause set. It wasn't pretty. So the next time I do this exercise, if I go up, it'll be just 2.5s. I'll have to evaluate and maybe just stay at this same weight next time, just because I want a better range of motion than what I got for those 3 rest pause sets. For my extreme stretch for lats, I'm just going to hang, and I will use these Harbinger wrist straps just so that my grip doesn't give out, because I want my lats to last longer than my hands and forearms. And I'll try to hold this for, again, 60 to 90 seconds. Now it's time for my back thickness exercise, and I'm going to be using the Titan Fitness Hex Bar for Hex Bar deadlifts. I love this exercise, but this is one that really scares me. I have hurt my lower back doing this before, and my numbers are going to be very low. And again, this is where I open myself up to be scrutinized, because I am not a very strong person, especially at this point in time. But there was a time when, with the old silver hex bar, I was able to fill that up with 45s to where there was no room for a collar and do that for plenty of reps. I mean, those days are behind me, but I'm always going to be real with you all. I'm going to show the weight that I'm actually using. I'm not going to ever put fake plates on here or try to act like something I'm not. So I hope that you all just understand that this is where I am in my training, and this is more for information rather than you all coming here to be impressed because I'm doing 7 45s on each side of this bar. But this is a great exercise for traps, and it will hit the lower back some. And I have other exercises that I'll cycle in this DC program, 2 to start with, obviously. But I do want to throw this one in here, at least for today. And if it seems like it's going to bother me, then I'll swap it out for another exercise. I really like this Titan Hex Bar because I can put it in my rack and start the exercise from a standing position instead of taking it from the ground. And I do elevate my heels just because it seems to be easier on my lower back. Continuing the warm-up process with 2 45s and 2 25s. I have 4 45s on the bar, and this could be my work set. I just don't know what this is going to feel like because it's been so long since I've done this exercise. But I hope to get at least 5, and I hope that my back holds up. If you see me drop on the floor, you've been forewarned that I have a lot of fear of doing any type of deadlift movement.
This rackable hex bar from Titan is an incredible deal. It has gone up in price since I got mine, but I did a video ranking my 18 Titan Fitness products, and it came in at number 10. Now that I've had it for a while, it should have made it a little higher in that list. And the daggone weights are sliding on me, so it's making the exercise unbalanced. But that's 10. I'll make that my first work set. And just in case there's any question, you do not rest pause back thickness exercises. So I'll rest about 2 minutes and then get ready for my final set of the day. I rested about 2 minutes. I put some collars on the bar so the plates don't slide on me. And I am adding my wrist straps to help my grip. The nice thing about this exercise is more than likely I'll wake up tomorrow with sore traps. And that's without even doing any shrugs or anything like that. All right. For most people, this is lightweight. Like Big Ron Coleman said, ain't nothing but a peanut. Ooh. And I will stop there just to be on the safe side. I didn't feel a tweak or anything like that in my lower back, but I know not to push it too hard on the first time back. I'm gonna stop there. I've got to go get ready for work. But you all, thank you so much for watching. If you found anything in this video series helpful, please consider liking the video. I'm on Instagram at Home Gym Hacks and Reviews, and I really look forward to doing and showing the next 4 workouts in this DC cycle. So stay tuned for those. Hit the notification bell. Take care, everyone.